Hey everyone, good morning. I hope you had a wonderful weekend or wonderful whatever yesterday was for you, for those that are watching this after it's been posted. Um, I've got a few things that I want to talk to you guys about today. I will just keep it short and sweet. Let's see. First off, so my birthday was last week, and I've got to show you guys. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's this beautiful mandarin dragonette necklace. Now, I don't have a mandarin right now, but I have had a mandarin in the past, and I absolutely love them. Their colors are just beautiful and stunning. So Frank actually used to have one when before we moved out here. He used to have one that kind of bebopped around in the sand for a while, and he was just such a beautiful fish. I miss him a lot. I've actually thought about putting one in my reef tank, but I don't have enough copepods for them to eat. I know that you can get them transitioned into food, but that's one that's very tricky even for me. Hey, thank you so much for joining, Chris. I know we were talking earlier on Instagram about how our local store is having a coral auction. I guess they do it for like 48 hours maybe. So I'm curious, for everybody else that's watching this that's not located in Las Vegas, do you have, does your local store do coral auctions and stuff? I'm just curious if this is just strictly a Vegas thing. I can't imagine it is. That I gotta believe other stores are doing this too. So, yep. Now, let's see. So there's two big things that I want to talk to you guys about today. If you have anything you want to talk about, if you've got any questions for me at all, now or after you see this video or any of the videos, feel free to leave a comment, and I always go back and go through those and check them. So if you got food questions, whatever, feel free to leave a message. Hey Frank, I think you're cute, buddy. Look, I am cute. Yes, I did see. So we were talking about those auctions. You can go on Facebook, Aquatic Treasures. They do have a beautiful torch coral. I think it's only for locals, but if you're here in Vegas and you see this live, definitely go check that out. There's a lot of really neat stuff. A lot of really pretty corals for your tank. I'm on like a coral purchasing limit right now, since not this weekend, but the weekend before I went and bought separate corals for my tanks. I'm not going to allow myself to buy any more. I'm going to try and hold out till Reefapalooza in California, but we'll see. We'll see. So the main thing I wanted to talk to everyone about today is temperature in your tanks. So here in Vegas, it gets really hot during the summer, you might imagine. So I always like to have a backup plan for anything that might happen to my tanks, my fish, whatever. Whether it be a hurricane and having transport containers for the fish, or a power outage loss, and in the summer or in the winter, temperatures going up. So I was telling people on Instagram that I recently was fish sitting for one of my coworkers, and while they were gone, they were trying to save some money. They turned off their AC, and I think it's their first summer in Vegas. They didn't realize that it would get really, really hot. So when I got over there to take care of the fish, the tank temperature, I didn't have a thermometer, but the ambient air temperature was 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So as you can imagine, the fish tanks were very warm. And what I did for that, because they didn't want to turn their AC on, is I took a Ziploc bag, I filled it with fish tank water. You guys, where's New York Gold? He's not here. Thank you guys for joining. Tell me what you do for when it gets hot. So I put fish tank water in a Ziploc bag or whatever container, and then froze it. And the next day when I went, I just popped those fish tank icicles, put them in the fish tanks, and that cooled down the water temperature a little bit. So when you do that, just kind of be mindful, like what kind of fish are in there. I've seen people that fill up water bottles and just put the whole floating water bottle in there. You could put it in the main tank or in the sump, but be mindful of what fish you have in there. Like he had this puffer fish that was destroying everything that it could get its mouth on. So I would not have left a water bottle or anything in there for him. Frank, I think, probably would try and chew something up too. So I would pop those popsicles or icicles out and just put them back in the tank. Another thing you can do is if you've got fans in the room, if you've lost power, you're probably not going to have fans, but you could always like run an extension cord and use like a box fan or a standalone fan and point it at the tank. That can help keep it cool. Another thing that I had forgotten about, if you're not sure if you're going to be home and you can kind of keep an eye on it, you can, depending on how big your main pump is, if you've got enough power heads in the tank that can keep the water flow going, and if you've got an air bubbler, you can always turn off the main pump, because a lot of times the main pumps, again, this depends on how big your system is, those pumps heat the water a lot. Like I'm talking, this is like strictly for larger systems. Like mine doesn't have that big of a pump on it, but I know like some of those dolphin pumps and stuff, they can get really big and they heat up a lot. So you can always open the doors to your sump and your stand and let that area air out, but like turn your main pump off for a little bit and just run those power heads with like an air stone or something. That way, it will let the water cool down a little bit, so it's not going through that really hot pump. And that's another method. Let's see if we got another comment. I'm really disappointed. These comments, when you rewatch the videos, they don't show up in the thing. Encourage if you really want to speed up the cooling, add an air bubbler and a fan. Yep. Yep. Frank says add food. Ignore Frank. What? I'm hungry. Yeah. So those are the tips that I've got. If you've got any other tips for keeping tanks cool in the winter, in the summer. Let's see. I've got a mag 18 on one system. Heaters almost never turn on. Yeah, that's another thing. So you can see right back here. This way. So this is where my heater usually lives. This is the bracket for it. During the summer, I just go ahead and unplug it. I keep the AC temperature downstairs where Frank's at like between like 76, 78. So I shouldn't have to worry about that. But on the off chance I do lose power, I don't want there to be a heater malfunction, whatever. So that is us talking about temperatures and keeping your tank temperature down. Like I said, you can use fans, bubblers, even consider making ice cubes. You can do like RO ice cubes. Yeah, or like I said, ice cubes out of their tank water. And you can put it in like a water bottle. I don't know if you have any of those like silicone baking trays. Those would work good too. So that's the first thing I was going to talk with you guys about today. Second thing is today is the first day of, it's a movement called Plastic Free July. And excuse me, what the goal of the movement is to help people around the world to reduce their consumption of single-use plastics. Now, I'm sure, you guys have seen like single-use plastics, get rid of the straw things, all in the news. And you might be like, I'm done hearing about this, stop talking about it. But let me give one smaller push. So we keep fish and corals, and be it freshwater, saltwater, we keep aquatic plants. And if they're not in our tanks, they're probably being aquacultured, but some of them still come from the wild. So those aquatic ecosystems are really important. And if we want to still be able to find new species and still have those fish out there. I think it's really, personally, I think it's really important to protect those ecosystems. And one thing that we can do is to reduce our single-use plastic. Now, I mentioned the straws. Straws were a big thing, but another thing that you can do, I brought it with me this time. This is my water bottle. I take a reusable water bottle with me everywhere. I don't buy water bottles. So you can take a water bottle. Something else you can do, and I know we mentioned this, Chris, Harkins Aquatics, I'm super excited that you've followed through with this. If you're going out to eat, like there's a place that I go for breakfast all the time, and I know for a fact that it's always way more food that I'm gonna be able to eat. So instead of waiting for them to bring me those styrofoam or plastic to-go containers, I just bring my own to-go containers. Like, I know I'm gonna need it, so I'll just bring my own to-go containers. It feels a little weird at first, but then when I go home, like, I can just straight up pop that sucker in the microwave. I don't have to worry about the styrofoam melting on me or anything like that. And I can reduce my consumption and like reduce my waste. But, so there's this movement. You can find it, plasticfreejuly.org. It's got some more information on it. I personally am going to do it. I'm encouraging others to do it as well. So my goal in for this month of plastic, reducing my plastic by one thing, I go through a lot of shampoo and conditioner and body wash. The aquarium that I work at, I'm diving in the saltwater tank every day. A lot of times I'm cleaning, and there's a lot of floating detritus and floating fish poo and food waste that gets caught in my hair. So I wash my hair a whole lot. And so now I'm going to challenge myself to try and find more plastic-free products that I can use. I might try buying a hair shampoo bar. We'll see what I can find. So I encourage you to join in Plastic Free July. Please leave a comment what you would like to try at home, and let me know how you're doing. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on how my Plastic Free July is going. I know right now a lot of plastic that I consume comes from the grocery store and different products, so I always try, if I can buy in bulk, I buy in bulk. So yeah, definitely encourage you guys to consider all that. All right, let's see, I've got a bunch of comments. Thermoelectric chillers, yeah, those would be cool. New Jersey just banned plastic bags. Yeah, go New Jersey. I feel like Canada just did something big too, and I just saw it and I don't remember what it was. Once one state does it, the rest will follow. Fingers crossed. I heard, depending on where you're at, out here they're called Smiths. Back on the East Coast, I think it's called Kroger. I think they're trying to reduce their plastic grocery bags. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I'm not trying to report anybody. California has done it. Ah, yeah, my New York sticker. I love stickers. I realize that's plastic. Maybe I should reduce my sticker consumption. Oh, dang. True story. When I saw, didn't know what it was. Big cat suffocating in the store bag. Oh, dang. That's sad. That's sad. Well, good for you for letting the cat out of the bag and saving that cat. Hey, how's it going? You made it. Yeah, there was actually, you mentioned the story about the cat in the bag. There was, I don't know if it was on Facebook or Instagram. I saw a video of somebody was scuba diving and there was a fish trapped in a bag and like just trying frantically to get out, and like the divers were able to get it out. We have a reward system. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, good morning everyone. How's it going? Yep, I know places like Target and I think maybe Trader Joe's does it too, but there's several places that you can go that when you bring your own reusable grocery bags, it's like 5 cents, but still. And even Starbucks, I think, does like 5 cents if you bring your own mug. Can you, you guys, can you imagine if I rolled through a coffee shop and I'm like, can you fill me up, please? Okay, yeah, the fish in the bag thing was on Instagram. I don't know what the title is, but if you should be able to find it. Do you want some food, Frank? Y'all, I did promise him food. I told him that on Instagram that we would feed him on the YouTube. You ready, buddy? You know, that's a good question. I haven't seen Dr. Ted today. I don't know that he was on last week either. Although, to be fair, this I think is one of the longer YouTube lives that we've done in a while. Because usually when I do them, it's just me talking to a camera, so I share my points and then I'm done and I don't have anything else to talk about. So unless people join in, they're usually pretty short. But I'm so glad you guys are here. There's a new supermarket. Oh, that's sweet. We don't have them here in Vegas, but they're in California and a lot of places around the country. It's called Aldi's, and they, like, kind of like Costco, they have boxes that you can use, but like after they're done emptying the stuff out. But if you want a bag, you actually have to buy bags. So, but I've gotten to the point when it comes to reusable bags, actually, I've got like 2 or 3 reusable bags in my car, and then my husband's car, I keep a reusable bag in there as well. So no matter if I need to just like run out and pick something up, if I'm on my way home, I've always got something ready to go. And two, a lot of stores out here do like the bulk bins. So in addition to keeping the grocery bags, I also try to keep like, you know, if you use like a Ziploc bag or something for like chips, it's still good, it's not gross. So I like to reuse those. It's perfect for things like popcorn. I make a lot of popcorn for the pig, so I'll put popcorn in there. Or one of the places I shop at, they do like you can get peanut butter. So I'll just like eat up like the whole jar of peanut butter. I'll eat the peanut butter and then I'll just clean it out and refill the jar. Most reusable bags have lead base. Interesting. I did not know that. I'm gonna have to look into that now. Thank you. Frank is getting so many compliments today. So, yeah, so now that we're talking about plastic and stuff, I'd be curious to know, you know, if you guys would join me on this plastic reduction challenge, and if so, what would you be willing to reduce? Could you do it for a month? Probably can. Change the way that you think. And something else too. So New Life has a very plastic container, let's be honest. If you can think of fun and exciting ways to reuse our containers, please tell me. I want to hear them. I'm going to be very curious to know how people reuse the containers. You know, if you've got some of these spare ones laying around, the ice cubes, be a great little container to make those in. Been on a plastic reduction since the 70s. High five. Good for you. I spoke to somebody on Instagram last night that said that they've been like zero waste for a year. I would love to be zero waste, but I don't know if there's any way I'd ever be able to do it. Yes! Go team! Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. Let's see. What else? Yeah, let's get to feeding Frank, because he's starving, right? He's always starving. Let's do a vote, guys. What should we feed Frank? We've got Algimax probiotics. these paper bags. So, I've got a pig. I have to pick up pig poop. When I first started, I got this like giant container of. They're supposed to be disposable bags. To me, they're just like plastic bags. But once I'm done using those, my goal is to pick up poo in brown paper bags. Steaming bag of pig poo in a brown paper bag. Tell you what, Frank. Available. Okay. Come get your fix here. We'll feed Frank. Frank's favorite. We'll go with probiotics. He got Algae Max last night. Probiotics is his favorite. Oh, this view gives you a great look at. So I've got 2 LED strips in here. You can see they're not all on. Guess who has done that with his awesome water spitting abilities? You're not on the top, buddy. Go, Frank, go. These guys. You would think they never eat. I don't know if you guys were here last week. I was talking about my giant hermit crab. I think he's about to molt. He's been acting really weird the last few nights. I don't know what's going on with him. Let's see. Oh man, I got a bunch of stuff. Making nice plastic. Ooh. Oh dear. I did not know that. On a 220 in town you have to buy. Oh, so I was telling you guys about my 180 that I have sitting. Let me see. Spin this whole goofy thing. So I've got this awesome, beautiful 180 that mostly acts as just like Christmas decoration storage and a food shelf. We went to build and like make a different stand for it because the stand that it's on is not level. And when we went to look at it, there's a giant crack that's like on the back corner. So there's no way. I've had this for about a year and now I can't use it. So we're waiting to hear back from the people that we bought it from, and hopefully they'll do something like refund me or maybe get me a new tank. Fingers crossed. That's bleeding. Yep. Yes, I've heard about microwaving plastics, which is another reason why bringing my own to-go containers. Sometimes I've got a bunch of like glass ones that I use. So, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got today. Frank's had his food. You guys share. My giant hermit crab is like straight down. Let's see if I can. Yeah, the frozen. Here's my big old hermit crab right here. Yeah, I heard plastic leaches chemicals when it's heated. I didn't realize it did it when it was cool as well. So definitely something to keep in mind. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. It is a hermit crab. It's a. Let's see if I can bend this down a little bit more. It's a red spotted hermit crab. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate you spending time on your Monday morning and hanging out with me. I will see you guys. Oh, I won't see you next week. I mentioned before I skip so I can go do scuba certification, so I'm doing a scuba certification next week. I won't be here, but I do want to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment, let me know how you're going to reduce your single-use plastic, and if you've got any other tips for keeping your tanks cool when summer heats up. Thanks again for joining. Have a great week, y'all.